music is entirely his own.
So a lot of his composition is kind of coming from a place of being very heavily pre-composed. You know, he's writing out all these crazy ideas and a lot of stuff using modern compositional techniques, and then kind of fusing that with jazz improvisation and a lot of free playing and a lot of different things like that.
It requires a lot of hard work. A lot of, you know, I put more hours into practicing Ken's music than just about anything I've done. It's that kind of music, but the payoff is there.
There's a lot of notes, but also, for instance, we did a gig last night, and a drummer friend of ours who hadn't heard the music before said he loved the arc of the music and how it kept getting more intense, and there were levels of intensity, and it wasn't just crazy all the time. It was, you know, a palette of different colours, whether it be sometimes very minimalistic to very dense, and it's the journey between those two things that makes it interesting.
What's interesting about it is when you're practicing it by yourself, you don't always hear the entire musical framework around it, and then once you hear the final product, it's amazing to see how all these disparate pieces fit together.
Ken's music is challenging all around. There's nothing that's not challenging about it. That's part of the beauty of it. It's finding the music in all the complexity that is our greatest challenge, you know, because we can spend many hours learning to play it perfectly, but in the end, that's not what it's about. It's, you know, bringing the humanity out in all the notes.
I've realized that part of what we do as musicians and composers is to interact and to actually say something about ourselves. And to me, the compositions that are most successful and performances that are most successful are things that are coming from the heart and that are actually coming from, that I learn something about the person who's doing this while it's happening, and it doesn't feel like it's an exercise that's separated from what's actually coming out.
I think the first record was like a representation of what Ken was thinking for the period before the band was put together, just how to merge these different types of music. But I think now, having played tours and gigs and stuff like that, I think this lot of music, I think it sounds more sort of organic in a way. There's some more, I think everyone's voice is being heard pretty clearly on their instrument. And also I think there's maybe some room to stretch and bend, and maybe that's us getting comfortable with the music as well, and taking the music from the written page and making it our own as well.
You write something out and you see it on a computer, but then actually getting into the studio and performing it live is a whole other thing.
We've played shows and people will be standing up and hooting and hollering. I mean, it's kind of like the energy, it's very high energy music, you know, and you know, the energy is almost like a rock show or something sometimes. People respond very positively to it. I don't necessarily think they're there counting measures or worrying about, you know, how complicated it is. They're caught up in the spirit of it and the intensity of it, and that's kind of what makes it get across so well.